Hello, dear students. I am Samir Velankar, and let's continue with our discussion on time complexity. Let's see another example where we will find out time complexity of some given algorithm or a function. Now, consider the following code here, which contains two for loops back to back. So, we don't have a nested for loop actually. There is a for loop in our code where I runs from 0 to n minus 1 and some statement runs. And then there is a back to back for loop where j runs from 0 to again n minus 1 because j less than n is written and some statement runs. We are asked what is the order or what is the time complexity asymptotic notation of this code. So if we go with our frequency count method, it is easy to prove that or see that this for itself will be checked n plus 1 times because it is running from 0 to n minus 1. Assume n is 4. If n is 4, then the for will be checked for I equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, correct? 4. When I will become 4, the loop will break, isn't it? Because I should be less than n. So it is actually checked 5 times when n is 4. So hence we have said that the frequency of the for itself is going to be n plus 1. But the statement written in the for will not run for that one additional time. It will run only n times. If n is 4, it will run for 0, 1, 2, 3. That's it. And when I will become 4, the loop breaks. So the frequencies have been written here. Now n plus 1 and n are the frequency of the first for loop and the statement. Similarly, the second for loop is also jumping or running from 0 to n minus 1. So 0 to n minus 1 means the for loop is going to be checked n plus 1 times and the statement will run n times. So that's the number of instructions that are getting executed by this particular code or frequency count of the instructions that are getting executed by the code. So if you find out the total, this will be 4n, just add all this, n, 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 n. So it will be 4n plus 1 plus 1. So 4n plus 2. But this is a polynomial of degree 1. So hence the order is order of n, isn't it? It's a linear function. Just try, just try again analyzing this code without bothering about the frequency. Now, anybody would understand that in this for loop, I is going from 0 to n, 0 to n minus 1. So the statement will run n times, isn't it? This statement will run n times. And the another for loop is also running from 0 to n minus 1. So actually the statement written inside here will run n times. So if we don't bother about how many times the for is checked, because after all the for is repeating the statement, isn't it? So if you just count how many times the statement runs n times and again n times. So the statement runs 2n times. Ultimately, this is also polynomial of degree 1. So we can approach to the answer on. Listen, we are anyway not interested in exact polynomial. What are we going to do with exact polynomial? Somebody will argue that no, it is not 2n times, it is 2n plus 2 times. So what have you achieved by writing that? Ultimately you are going to write on itself, isn't it? You are going to drop all these terms and you are going to say this is polynomial of degree 1. So the summary is that whenever you are given any code, you just see what is the most prominent code, what is the most prominent line which you should check how many times it executes. Now in this entire code, we are interested in running the statement. Come on, why did we write the for? We write for running the statement. So instead of going through all the procedure of counting how many times for is approached, then counting how many times statement runs, why don't we simply count how many times statement runs, isn't it? And statement runs n times by the first for and n times by the second for. So total is n plus n times because they are back to back for loops, which comes out as 2n. So the order is on. Let's see one more example before we say that we have understood this. Just imagine I have a for loop where I runs from 1 to n, let's say I plus plus, and there is some statement. And then there is another for loop, back to back for loop, where j runs from 1 to n by 2 times, n by 2 times j plus plus, and then some statement. Now, if we go with exact frequency count method, the for itself is approached n plus 1 times, correct? Because it is going from 1 to n. So that additional time the condition will be checked before the loop breaks. So n times the condition is checked for 1 to n. So n times it is checked plus 1 time for that additional loop condition when the loop breaks. And the statement runs n times. Similarly, for the next for loop, j is going from 1 to n by 2, isn't it? 1 to n by 2 times. So the for itself is checked n by 2 plus 1 time, and the statement runs n by 2 times. This is our frequency count method, isn't it? So what is the total count? How many times the instruction runs? It is n by 2 plus n by 2, which is n plus 2n, correct or not? N plus n. So it's going to be 3n plus 1 plus 1, that is 2. But this is polynomial of degree 1. So it is order of n, isn't it? But how long we took, isn't it? By asking how many times the for is checked, then how many times the statement runs. No need of doing this now, because anyway we are not interested in exact answer, isn't it? So why don't we say like this? Why don't we say something like this? Just check this. I'll just change the color. Okay. How many times this statement runs? Because the statement is most important. Come on again, why did we write the for loop? We wrote the for loop to repeat the statement. So how about counting how many times the statement runs? And it is so easy. The for loop runs from 1 to n. So the statement itself runs n times, isn't it? N times. And how many times this statement runs in the next for loop? The for loop itself runs n by 2 times. J runs from 1 to n by 2. So the statement runs n by 2 times. And now we are ignoring this n plus 1, n by 2 plus 1, and all that. So you tell me, what is the total count? Total count is n plus n by 2, isn't it? N plus n by 2, isn't it? Which is again a polynomial of degree 1. I hope you are understanding. You can write, of course, you can simplify this and write this is 3 by 2 into n. But after all, it is going to be polynomial of degree 1. You are still going to get on, isn't it? Come on. Just tell me. Just check this. I'll just write some new code here. Let's say, okay, I'll erase the slate. Please give me some time. Okay, I'll erase the slate. Okay, tell me. If I have a for loop like this, first for is for I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus, and some statement. Okay. And the other for loop is for j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to n, j equal to j into 2. Observe, j into 2 and some statement. All right. Now we will not question how many times the for is checked, isn't it? Because we are interested in counting how many times the statement runs, and the statement surely runs n times because the loop itself repeats n times, isn't it? Now, how many times the second for loop repeats the statement? The statement is repeated log of n times. It is easy. We saw in the previous video that j is going from 1 to n and j becomes j into 2. So if you say that n is 8, then j will be 1, 2, 4, 8. Correct or not? So actually the statement is going to repeat log of n to the base 2 times. Isn't it? Actually, if you see, the statement will run log of n to the base 2 plus 1 time, isn't it? Plus 1 time. Because if n is 8, come on, if n is 8, how many times the loop runs? 1, 2, 4, 8. And for even 8, the loop runs, isn't it? So the statement actually runs log of 8 to the base 2 plus 1 time. But what's the importance of this plus 1? Come on, I am telling you, after all, this plus 1 is going to get ignored. So very quickly you can say the frequency is n plus log n, isn't it? So many times the statement runs, and this is clearly a polynomial of degree 1. Tell me, who is larger here, n or log n? N is larger. So you can say it works in O of n. I hope you are understanding. More examples will come back with in the next video. Thank you very much.